Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video vlog of my life, trucking life. Today's topic, we're going to talk about the 6-piece. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them, but stay tuned and find out.
Like, share, and subscribe.
What's going on, guys? Hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'm here just chilling for the day. I got to using my brain a little bit, and I remembered about something that I learned when I was about 18 years old or so. It was actually from a guy that was very, very successful. The guy's name's Dave. If you're watching, reach out. But it was a very, very long time ago. He taught me something that pretty much can tie into any type of business. He told me about the 6Ps, and you're probably thinking like, what the hell are you talking about, Gabe? Well, let me go ahead and explain it to you. So the very first one is prior. So how can we tie that into the trucking industry? And I made myself a little bit of notes here, guys, so you might see me turning my head over here. I'm keeping it real. You know, I wanted to make sure that I cover all the points and stuff. So the first one is prior. Okay, so basically what that means is you do things before. You know, don't wait till the last minute to do whatever it is you need to do. You know, when it comes to the trucking industry, like, do things before. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to get to a position to where you pay for the price at the end of the day. You know, everything is time and money, and it costs money. You know, you want to do yourself a good pre-trip. Visualize, get underneath there, check everything that you need to check, so that you can, you know, avoid problems and stuff like that, right? The next one is proper. If you're gonna do something, do it the right way. Do it the proper way. You know, sometimes, you know, you guys have seen me in the videos before. You know, sometimes I'll put a band-aid on something, like when I had that cable break on me on the alternator. You know, I did what I had to do just so I'm able to get home. But I can't tell you how many trucks I've worked before in the past where they'll band-aid the truck and they just leave it like that. I mean, it's working, but eventually it's gonna give you failure again. So, I mean, if you're gonna do something, do it the proper way. It's only gonna put you in a better spot, you know, in the future. Planning. So right now we got prior, proper, planning. You know, plan your maintenance. You know, have a good maintenance routine. You know, I have a little binder, and every time I do my pre-trip or whatever, you know, sometimes it's major, you know, and if it's something major, well, obviously you want to fix it right then and then, right? But, you know, if it's something minor, like, you know, if you get under there and you notice that a hose is rubbing off a little bit, you know, make yourself a mental note, because believe me, you'll forget. You know I forget, you know, so by the time I get to the house, I pull my little list up and, okay, I need to check this clamp, or, you know, these zip ties or whatever. Like, don't leave it to the last minute. You know what I mean? Have a plan on, you know, saving money. You know, get a certain percentage of your check, put it away for a rainy day, because like I've said it before, guys, if there's one thing that these trucks are good about, they're definitely reliable at breaking down. It's gonna happen. It's not if it's gonna happen, it's when it's gonna happen. But you want to be prepared for it. You know, one of the biggest things that I do to prevent myself from being in a bind is I try to keep parts on board. You know, hard parts that are hard to find. You know, I'm talking about oil, antifreeze, clamps, hoses, zip ties, sensors, lights, you know, fuses, you know, and the list goes on and on and on and on. You know, extra belts, you know, an extra alternator, an extra, you know, pressure regulator. You know, it's just so many things that you can keep on board. You know, most of my truck inside is with tools. You know, invest in tools, because, you know, it's gonna save you money. No matter how you slice it, it's gonna save you money. Everybody knows that the cost of labor right now is high, and, you know, it's with the trucking market being the way it is, fuel's still pretty high, rates are in the shit. Like, you can't make no money right now. You know what I mean? So you want to try to do as much as you want, as you can, to prevent from you having issues. Have a plan A and have a plan B. And I know it's hard right now. Believe me, I know, because I deal with it myself too. And as I explained it before in previous videos, most of the repairs that are done on my truck, I do them myself. And even like that, it's expensive because parts are expensive. Like, I can't, just get parts free. Like, I still have to pay for them, but at least I save on the labor side, and that's probably at least a good, 30 to 50% of whatever invoice you get if you take it somewhere is labor, and the rest are parts. You can't get away from parts, but you can definitely save yourself on labor. I know that every driver out there, whether you're a company driver or an owner operator or a small company that runs a fleet, has at one point been on the side of the road, and that feeling is not a nice feeling, especially when you have to pay for it. You have to figure out the problem. When being an owner operator in 2024 right now, it ain't easy, because there's just no money. It's barely enough money to survive. The third P is prevents. It's pretty much what the word says. You know what I mean? It's gonna save you time and money. It's gonna prevent breakdowns. It's gonna prevent stress. It's gonna put you in a bad spot. That's what you're trying to prevent, is getting to a bad spot. So just prevent. And the last two, they kind of go hand in hand, is poor performance. So if you proper plan prevents poor performance, it's going to prevent you from being on the side of the road, having to call a tow truck. Everybody knows the cost of tow trucks is it depends on wherever you're at and how much the guys wants to charge you. I've seen tow bills before that are crazy, 2, 3, 4, 5, tens of thousands, depending on whatever distance you're at from a shop. Then at that point, you're stuck going to wherever shop you're at in that area. You might not know the people there or whatever. Now, I'm not bad mouthing shops. There's very good shops out there, but when you break down in the middle of nowhere, or even if you break down in the city or whatever, like, now you're stuck of having to choose a shop wherever you're at. You know what I mean? So the goal about trucking, the reason why we're all here, there's some people who love it, there's some people who hate it, and there's some people like myself that are neutral. The goal of being out here is to keep them wheels on rolling so that you can continue making money and you can take care of the people that you love at home. That's the name of the game. Now, are you going to have to spend some money sometimes on the truck? Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you fix the truck yourself or if you pay somebody to do it. Like, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to spend some money, whether it's on labor or it's on parts or whatever, but poor performance, guys, it prevents stress. We all know that even when you're not having issues with the truck, dealing with brokers, dealing with shippers and receivers, sometimes we don't get treated the right way, and there is some customers that do treat us the right way. It's just, you want to try to limit as many things as possible to not be so stressed out. The job itself as it is already stressful. Traffic. I hate Atlanta traffic. You guys have seen that before. But it's gonna lead down to having a better performance. Your truck's gonna be running better. You're gonna know that it's good. Now, granted, guys, I'm a realist person. I keep it real. It doesn't matter how good of maintenance that you give it. Sometimes it's just going to give you an issue. It's happened to me before. I'm very, very big time OCD with my truck. I try to keep it as on point as I possibly can. But sometimes crap just happens. It's just going to happen, But I try to limit it down to the point where it's very minor. And more importantly, if something does happen, I can fix it. Granted, if I lose a transmission in Dallas, that's not something I can fix on the side of the road. That's not something that I have the equipment and tools for at that particular time. And one last point, guys, very, very important. It's a machine. It don't give a shit how you feel when it breaks down. It's just gonna break.